Okay, welcome everyone to our meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. On the agenda, we have a motion to adopt October 5th, 2023 council meeting minutes. So moved. Moved by Councillor Barrett. Second by Councillor Brian House. Any discussion on the meeting minutes for October? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to adopt November 6th, 2023 council meeting agenda. So moved. Moved by Councillor Derek House, second by Councillor Barrett. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Right now on our agenda, I'm going to turn it over to our finance committee to bring forward a couple items that they have.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the, the invoices for October in the amount of $62,684.94. There's only one item in there that's a little bit out of the ordinary, and that's some repairs we had to carry out to the Kubota. Other than that, it's pretty well straightforward.
Okay, you heard the motion brought forward by Councillor Barrett, second by Councillor House, Derek House. Any discussion on those invoices? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under new business, I'm going to go back to Councillor Barrett for the budget.
Okay, we just finished going through all of our budget documentation and came up with a budget for 2024. And sooner than present a bunch of figures, which will be hard to follow anybody's listening on this or even anybody sitting around the table, I thought I'd like try to explain how our funds are expended with an explanation for some of the major changes for this upcoming year. On the expense side, our general administration is estimated to cost $475,900. With the major change in that being that we will be paying a town manager and a town clerk for the full year, whereas previously they've only been paid for part year for the last 2 years. This account also includes allowance for training, legal and audit fees, insurance, property assessments, and donations. Our fire protection services are estimated to cost $97,500, making allowance for an update of our emergency preparedness plan and some additional equipment for firefighters. Transportation services, mainly road maintenance, paving, street lighting, and snow clearing, inclusive of all wages and benefits, is expected to cost $415,000. And that figure includes the provision of some smaller items needed to assist our maintenance staff. Environmental health services, including water supply and garbage collection, are estimated at $313,000. We have to do some maintenance on our water pumps and our storage tank during the year. Also, our garbage contract ends in 2023, and we built in a slight increase for 2024. Recreation and cultural services are estimated at $240,500, which includes the continuation of our summer youth program, upgrades to the playground and ball fields, and a contribution to the regional services provided by the stadium and swimming pool. The major change in our budget this year is in fiscal services, where we have allowed $568,500 for the replacement of some of our existing road maintenance equipment that has exceeded its useful life and effectiveness. Although being a major expense, it will not require any borrowing. And I'm going to say that again. It will not require any borrowing. The cost will be covered by our existing surplus. All of these expenditures result in a total budget of $2,251,127 and will be financed through our normal taxation program without any increase in our property and water service rates. We are currently reviewing all of our rates for fees such as permits, and there may be a slight increase sometime during next year. Once the budget is approved by Kippens Town Council and the Department of Municipal Affairs, it will be available for any citizens that wish to review it. Altogether, we have a higher budget than previous years, but I'm going to emphasize again, with no increase in taxation. In these arid economic times, we are making every effort to provide the services needed to run our beautiful town without placing an economic burden on our citizens. Before making the motion, I'd just like to thank our town manager, our town clerk, our county clerk, and my compatriot, Mr. House, for all the work that went into the preparation of this budget. And I would like to make a motion that the budget for 2024 be approved as presented. Second.
You heard the motion is brought forward by Councillor House and all the explanations. Well done, I must say. Any discussion? We have a seconder by Councillor Derek House, sorry, brought forward by Councillor Barrett. Do we have any discussion on the budget or any of the items? Good. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried for the budget. Before we move on, I'd just like to say thank you to Councillor Barrett and Councillor House and the staff here for all the work they did on the budget, and for every other councillor that had their information or put their things in that they might have wanted to see. It's appreciated that we can get it done and get it done early, and that way we can get it presented to municipal affairs. Okay, number 2 under new business. Councillor House.
We mentioned in the budget that we had to purchase a new loader this year as a major purchase. It's somewhere in the area of, I just checked with $415,000. And but thankfully we'll be able to purchase the machine without getting into borrowing, without arranging financing, without leasing. So we just want to have the council agree that it's time to do it. Our present machine is, there's nothing worse than January machine breaking down. And we haven't to rely on contractors, which won't be at our beck and call at any time soon. So we hope to have this machine in place by February, March, somewhere around that. We do have a contingency plan to keep us going, using a hire for a few months to make sure we do have equipment for snow clearing and whatever comes up in the winter. But it's time that we think we can swing to get this new machine now and finally have it in place within a few months. Okay. So I make a motion that we proceed with the purchase of the new loader as soon as we can.
Okay. You heard the motion brought forward by Councillor House. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Barrett. Any further discussion on the new loader?
Yeah, just so people don't get confused, because we're talking different numbers. The number that Councillor House presented of $416,000 before tax.
Yes.
So we're looking at $478,000 in total.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on now to permits.
We have a couple of permits. We have a request to extend the shed on 15 Juniper Avenue. It is in compliance. I make a motion that we approve the extension of the shed at 15 Juniper Avenue.
Okay, you heard a motion brought forward by Councillor House. We have a seconder. Second by Councillor Brian House. Any further discussion on that extension? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
And the final request we have this month is a request to build a garage at 32 Lakeview, but again, it's in compliance. I make a motion that we approve the permit to build a garage at 32 Lakeview Drive.
Okay, you heard a motion brought forward by Councillor Derek House, is second by Councillor Brian House. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Under additional business, They don't have anything there right now. I don't know if anyone got anything that they wanted to bring forward. Okay, I'll start with our committee reports. And I'm gonna start with,
Nothing new to report.
Okay.
Just from the roads and maintenance side of things, we've taken up our speed bumps in the last little while for, leave them out for the summer and take them out for the winter. Some people have, contacted us with, just requesting, or commenting on them. So we're now inviting, before we get into them next year, we'd like people to comment, are they in favor of the speed bumps? Are they a problem, the speed bumps, or, good, bad, or indifferent? If they've got some comments, send them to the office or to myself or any member of council, so we can have a look at them before next year. And, we'll just take all the comments into consideration. They do serve a purpose. They're certainly very important around the playground areas and the ball field. We do have others throughout the town, but if anybody's got any comments, good, bad, or indifferent, you'd be glad to receive them.
okay,
The other thing on the maintenance issue is that while we didn't have a separate meeting for maintenance purposes, in going through the budget, we reviewed all the equipment we have, we reviewed what it is we had to prepare for next year. It's a budget meeting, but it was mostly maintenance.
okay.
Paul, I didn't have anything earlier, but I guess this falls under communications. I'm just wondering if we've heard anything around the cell phone improvement initiative that we had submitted an application under.
There was nothing from that part from Bill. Unofficially, in our meet and greet with World Energy, no specific timeline, but if that project does go through, or when it goes through, apparently cell phone coverage will be increased in the area due to the project. It's in its capacity anyway.
Wind energy.
Yeah, so there may be.
We did submit a specific application under a government program that was 90-10.
Yeah, okay.
I was gonna ask if maybe that could be followed up on to
Could
see
be looked
whether or
into.
not
Okay.
the application was received and whether or not there's been any indication of timeframes before approval or rejection. The way the program worked was the town basically had to show a willingness to cover 10% of the cost of the enhancement that would be required to improve the cell service. And the remaining 90% would be covered through both government and the service provider, I think.
Okay.
So we did submit an application. I think that might have been just prior to your time, Justin, but it should be around here. And we did submit a document in because I think Councillor Nippert,
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Nippert, was probably the one who worked on the document, and I gave him some feedback on it, and we did get it submitted.
Yes, because I know, actually, I was told tonight by a resident here in Kippens that called Bell to have a security system installed, and when they came down to do the installation, they couldn't get 2 continuous bars. And they were told that if they couldn't get 2 continuous bars, security system would not work. So,
There's
yeah,
lots
that
of
goes to
issues
show
with
how poor the
their,
service is,
coverage.
right? This person wanted a security system around their house and can't get it because cell service is not good enough here.
But I mean, I think it's good that they're gonna look at improving the service should wind energy
Yes.
go forward as a project. But I think there's more reason for maybe doing something to improve the service for the residents of the area. And as we've talked about a number of times around this table and other tables, the fact that it's a safety issue as much as anything, that people don't have access to call 911 or any other emergency services.
And it's an expense too, because everybody now got to maintain the land if they want to get into service. You can't rely on the cell service.
For sure. But I mean, it might be nice to follow up and see if the application was received, if it met their criteria, and if there's any timeframes, just by way of an update.
We'll look into it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You have a report, Mr. House, or Justin, sorry?
Yeah, as far as updates we go, as we had mentioned, there's going to be an order placed in now since council approved for a new wheel loader. In the interim, the current snow clearing equipment has been inspect it and is ready to go for the interim. So we shouldn't have any issues with snow clearing for the winter anyway, until the new loader does show up. Salt sand has been ordered. Just waiting on a copy of the safety plan from the contractor for it to be picked up at the depot. We got till the 31st of December to pick it up.
Okay.
We currently got enough of a surplus in the salt shed to last at least half winter, so no time constraints on that. All the hydrant markers that were supposed to be put off should be completed by end of week.
Okay.
They have been,
We're working on those.
they've been made, they've been designed and painted. They were waiting on an external supplier for the actual numbers themselves to be stickered.
Okay.
Apparently they've received them. So they're in the process of putting them on, so we're hoping by the end of the week, they'll be in our hands so that Public Works can.
I had a resident
What about-
ask me about it just this week, actually, about the fire hydrant markers.
Yeah.
So it's timely.
Yeah, so there was a iteration there that contractors were told that we need this before winter, like they gotta be here,
Yeah.
we're gonna have it up. That's done. Yeah, we did have an inspection on the old 936 loader. And it's been deemed that it's gonna cost more to fix it than what's worth, than what the town will get on a return. So that's done. The new rescue vehicle, or new to us rescue vehicle, is in service in the fire department.
Good.
The retrofits were done in-house by the Public Works employees, so I'd like to give a thanks to UBMO, the Public Works crowd, on doing that, so that's done. And that is it. And we do have an option if we want, where the new municipal plan has been implemented now since of October 20th. There is an offer of some training available to council and staff on the development processes. So there's all that good stuff. If anybody wants to take part, it's available.
Is that online or
No, it would be a 1-day in-person,
you have a date?
it's usually anywhere in February.
Okay.
That's the timeline apparently that the planner would be available in the area.
So that will be done by our planner.
That would be done by our planner, so. Yeah.
In February, I assume it's gonna be done in Miami? No,
We wouldn't be so.
that's not in the budget.
Instead of Miami, it'll be my council office.
Okay, I'd like to take a moment here now, and I want to congratulate Rosemary Ryan on receiving the Coaching Excellence Award this weekend at the Gala Hills in Calgary, Alberta. We've seen firsthand the dedication and commitment, time and energy she puts into every athlete that she's ever coached over the years, and there's been many of them. She never gives up on a child. She strives to bring them to their full potential, and so many that have done because of her. We'd just like to say thank you to her and for so many athletes for keeping the sport alive in our area. Rosie certainly deserves this award and a lot more, but I just want her to know that as a council and as a community, we certainly appreciate everything that she's done to bring things into this community and participate and coach and all of her, volunteer work that she does with every aspect of what we do here. in the
Work with the
community.
Recreation Committee has been phenomenal the last number of years.
Yeah, so congratulations, Rosie, again.
Well deserved.
Yes, definitely well deserved. That concludes our reports. Motion to adjourn. Oh, sorry. Our next meeting will be December 5th.
Last one before Christmas.
Yeah,
5th, you say?
December yeah, I'm double checking here now, Brian. Yes, December 5th. So motion to adjourn. So moved. All in favor? Second
Aye.
by Brian. Counselor House, sorry. All in favor? Aye.